good evening, everybody. A Denver Bronco Roundup. It's kind of a gut reaction, initial reaction. We just got done watching preseason game 2. Jody's still chiming in, seeing all probably the highlights and the pressers and the whole 9 yards, trying to keep up on everything. Albert's in the black hole. It looks like Albert's here to see us though. Not hanging out in Las Vegas at all, but we're all here. Just kind of figure a jump on, do an initial gut reaction. Exactly what we just saw in game 2. Hopefully, you guys all got to see it. Let's get it started, Albert. Just initial thoughts. What jumps off your mind to begin with?
I think that we have a terrific third running back and punt returner or kick returner in McLaughlin. I think he was, for me, he was the MVP of the game.
Yeah.
And then Russ, I think he is his old Russ again, as in the days of the Seattle Seahawks in the early days. He sees openings, he runs, and I think he did. In my opinion, he did terrific.
Yeah, a good couple call-outs. Russ obviously knocking some rust off and looking pretty good. McLaughlin going out there and really shining on a national spotlight are those who got to see him, because I don't think a lot of people knew that name. Jody, initial thoughts from you, buddy?
I thought Russ looked good. Back to his old days. Well, three-step drop. If it's not there, he took off and run. And he looks fast. And he ran smart. And when he ran, he knew what he could get and then got out of bounds. O-line looked a little bit better. Bulls looked better. O-line's not where we want it yet. And then Javonte Williams. Well, the nerves got him on that first pass from Russ.
Yeah.
Dropped it with expected. Russ came right back to him on like about a 13-yard pass. Kind of came diving to the ground, caught it. Looked good running the ball. Doesn't look like, other than you can see the little bulky knee brace, that there's anything wrong with him. And after this game, I would expect he's full go week 1. He might be on a little pitch count, but I would expect to see him probably whatever his normal amount is, maybe 80-85% of that. So all in all, I liked everything that I seen. To do our backup quarterback situation, that's not Danucci or Stidham. Not great, but there's time to work some things out. We still got about 3 weeks. And then the bad news, hopefully Jalen Virgil's all right. I mean, he's a good speedster, catches the ball good. Hopefully it's just a little knee tweak.
Yeah. Always unfortunate, obviously, to see someone like Jalen Virgil, a guy that's worked on this roster for multiple years now, and just needing to get a break, and had been looking pretty good through training camp, looking pretty good through the preseason. Obviously was looking very good on that play tonight. Boy, it didn't seem like a whole lot. He didn't even think it was a whole lot. He jumped up right away, and then it kind of hit him. So hopefully it is nothing that's serious or long term. So
We are talking about a figuratively break, right, and not literally.
That is true. That is true. Want to get to a few friends of ours. Michelle Knopper is coming in and saying, "Evening, gents." So evening to you, Michelle. Appreciate you. Always like seeing you, Michelle. Always like seeing you. I guess in the comment board as well. I might have to do some jumping back and forth, guys. So just hang with me as I get through these comments. But oh boy, where are we at here? All right, sorry about that. Kenny coming in with a couple of different comments. So let me just jump back and forth here, guys, real quick. Good evening, fellas. How are the big three doing this evening? And then jumps back in and says, my initial thought, Russ played well, and the special teams played about average, which is what I've been preaching. Special teams will be good this year. So, special teams, especially from the kicking side, seems like it kind of ironed itself out. We had a good performance on that side of things. My initial thoughts are this. A, it's a preseason game, guys, so let's not panic. It's let's not the things that didn't look good, let's not go into the dumpster about. The things that look great, let's not start cheering up and down about. There's still work to be done on our side of the ball and on the other side of the ball for every competitor we're going up against. And it's really going to start seeing itself play out. In game one, would have loved to seen Cortland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy get a little bit more involved in the offense before the starters got pulled, but hey, that's just the way it goes. The starters look good, went out there, got their touchdown that they wanted, and Russ was able to get off the field. That's exactly what we like to see. So, defense, I don't know how we're going to create pressure. And it didn't matter who was out there from the edge rushers. We didn't see a whole lot. Didn't matter if it was Randy Gregory, who was out there late. Didn't matter if it was Frank Clark, who was out there late. Nick Benito was probably the best showing of anybody. Jonathan Cooper, was probably second. But, boy, it didn't seem like we were getting a whole lot of pressure unless, we were bringing the blitz. And then why don't I throw it back over to you, Jody, and get your thoughts on that. Do we have worries, concerns? I know I just got done saying don't be worried, don't go into the dumpster. But do we have worries and concerns when it comes to this defensive line and getting pressure from the initial front?
No, I don't. Zach Allen, I've seen him. I mean, he was making moves and doing some things. Jonathan Cooper had 2 sacks. So I don't see that being a problem. And you could see on some plays, like that little whatever 3rd and short that Purdy hit like a 16-yard in cut. PS2 was 15 yards off. I mean, in a real game, I don't see PS2 being off like that. He's going to be uptight. So something like that. So, but pressure-wise, no, I don't think it's a big deal. I think Zach Allen has been a beast, and a guy that I think has solidified himself on this roster is Elijah Garcia. He's been making plays, getting in the backfield, had an interception, kind of on a lucky play. Matt Henderson made a great play tipping that ball up. So I think you're just seeing some vanilla stuff right now. And I think, pressure-wise, no, I think that's not going to be a problem.
Right on. I want to get to a few others, and then I'll jump over to Albert here real quick too. Adams and Kayla are jumping in and saying, good evening, family, and good evening to you, Adam. Always appreciate you jumping in here, being part of the Denver Bronco Roundup. Great supporter of ours. Appreciate it so much. Jeremy, good friend of mine, saying, how did the O-line look? I'm going to answer briefly on this, and then I'll throw it over to Albert. He can go dive in a little bit deep. But, boy, what a change from game 1 to game 2, in my opinion. What a change. It was a little rough to begin with. I mean, if you're sitting there and you get to watch a replay and you get to watch that opening series, it was a little rough to begin with. But, boy, did it calm down and start looking good. Albert, what are your thoughts? How did everyone look? Who was your standout on this offensive line today or tonight?
I think the standout was the unit by itself. I think they did pretty well. Like you said, a little rough from the get-go, but they warmed up, and I think they are going to gel together. And when McGlinchey comes there, I think we have a top 10 O-line. We might have a top 10 O-line. And, I have to eat a little crow because Cushenberry is doing very well. And I'm really surprised by that. But I think it also is because of the entire team, that the 5 men there. And no holding calls from the O-line, but guess what? Our wide receivers, they were involved with the offense, and they were holding.
Yeah.
Kendall Hinton, Sutton.
Kendall Hinton again. Yeah,
Yep.
Kendall Hinton had a rough night when it came to holding. I tell you what, those refs are calling it pretty tight, though. I'll be honest, man. They were calling it pretty dang tight, in my opinion. They weren't letting anything go, and some of those I think were fairly ticky-tack compared to what we see in the NFL on any given Sunday. So, Jody, go ahead, buddy.
One thing I do not understand is Montrell Washington is driven with a kicker or a punt return is driven back into the end zone,
Mm-hmm.
and he runs it out.
Oh yeah. Well,
And to me, that is just stupid because you're just hurting for injuries and you get in 25-yard line.
yeah, I think right now in the preseason you're going to see a little bit more of that. It'd be interesting to see if he was returning them in the regular season, whether he'd still take that same approach. But everyone's trying to show out. Everyone's trying to. Here's a guy that isn't probably going to make it as a wide receiver. A lot of people said he might have to make it as a wide receiver if he's going to make the Denver Bronco, roster at all. So if you have that opportunity on special teams, I think you need to take it. Jody, your thoughts on the offensive line? I know it's been a big subject here around Broncos country. I want to get your thoughts as well.
I think it looked a lot better than last week. I'm in the same boat as Albert. I will eat crow. Cushionberries look really good. And you can see when they want to run the ball, and the strength of this running game is guard, center, guard. They run right up the middle, smash mouth, and P. Ryan gets 4, 5, 6 yards. And that's what I like to see. You're going to see run, set up some play action, and what Russ does best, throw it deep. And I will give a big shout out. I thought Isaiah Prince played really well at left tackle. I thought he looked really good out there.
Looked much better.
Much better there. So, yeah, I thought not great yet. Good, trending in the right direction. Got 3 more weeks. What? 1, 2, 3 more weeks.
Yep.
So it's got some time. So yeah, with the O-line, it's trending in the right direction, and you can see why they went out and got Powers, especially Powers, and what him and Miners can do running that ball right up the middle.
Yeah. Like to see Powers to take that next step in the pass blocking. Still seems like he struggles a little bit there, and maybe that's solidified once again this group starts to come together a little bit. But that's one thing that I thought was just a little bit shaky, especially from a guy that was coveted and we went out and picked up and put some money towards. So McGlinchey's getting a pass. he doesn't have to play. So going to get our good friend Kenny from the K&K Sports Show. He's been blowing up my message board over here and has a couple of good thoughts. One, he's putting all our minds at ease, including my own, saying don't worry on the defense too much because you really don't want to show teams too much, in my opinion. Kind of echoing what you guys were saying to me as well. And then he does have a question for us. He says, my question for you guys this evening, have you seen enough of Russ and the other starters to sit everyone and go into week 1 healthy, or do you still want to see more from the starters in week 3? I'll start with Albert, go over to Jody. Albert, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I definitely want to see something more from Dulcich. We have not seen much from him. And Albert, I don't know what to do with him.
Well, he's not going to be a starter, so you don't have to worry about that.
So, but yeah. And the only thing, if McGlinchey could play maybe 1 or 2 snaps, or let him,
nice.
Would be nice. But other than that, maybe let them play 5 snaps, and then let other people take it over.
All right, 5 snaps for all the starters? Or just your selected few? 5 snaps for all the starters. All right. Jody, what are your thoughts, bud?
I don't think I need to see any more. They'll get their work in practice and keep them healthy and get ready for week 1. I seen all I needed to see from Williams. He took hits. He ran hard. There was one run that he was dragging a guy. Didn't get him very far, but it's there.
Technical difficulties over at the Moncrief household as we're a little bit frozen at the moment. But go ahead, pick it up back up, buddy.
Another diving catch from Russ, and his runs look good. I think I seen like 4 for 18 or something. So I think he showed what he needed to. I don't need to see anything else. Russ, keep working, doing what you do. And just remember, you can still tell Peyton is just calling plays. He wanted to see pass plays still. He knows this run game is going to be where it's going to be. And when he puts a game plan together and plays are setting up plays, the run is setting up the pass, expect a lot of different things.
Yeah. Kind of echoing what we said at the very beginning, or I said at the very beginning. It's just preseason, and I guess kind of what Kenny was echoing from the Great K&K Sports Show. In the defensive line not showing their hand. Sean Payton's not going to show his hand for the offense as well. But, Kenny, to answer your question, I have seen, for the most part, enough. But do I sit everybody in week 3? I don't think I would, because if I'm taking on the persona of Sean Payton right now, I don't think Sean Payton's going to do that. I don't think Sean Payton's going to let off the gas at all. I don't think that that's the way that he wants his team thinking. No one's going to be in bucket hats. I can guarantee you that. So if you're going to suit up, if you're going to strap up your helmet, you better be ready to go in. And I know that me and all of us were kind of talking in the message board during the game, just to even see Randy Gregory out as late as he was in the game was something that we didn't expect. And alongside Frank Clark, if you guys didn't notice that as well, about the same time. So here's 2 guys that, should be top starters, top wage earners for certain, and they're still getting reps in late 3rd, early 4th quarter when we're talking, somewhere around there. So I just don't think Sean Payton's going to, flex away from the mentality. I expect to see him.
The only reason I said that is, he pulled Russ really quick. We seen 2 drives, and
I agree.
We pulled Russ quick. He's seen what he needed to from Russ, and that was it. He wanted to see a little more from Williams, which I was a little surprised. He came back in the next series, but after that he pulled him, and I was really Sutton did get the one holding call of blocking, but that is something we have not seen from Sutton, wanting to get down there and mix it up. And and yet it was holding, but it wasn't a Garrett Bowles type chokehold. It was just, it was
Just
a little
too long.
Just a little too long. He was in there getting physical, and I don't think that Peyton. You're going to work on techniques and stuff, but that's what Peyton wants. So,
Yep.
So that is, that's a culture change right there in itself. You seen Sutton not want to do anything last year when it came to blocking. So,
Yeah.
And I think it was on the McLaughlin return where he had the decent return. I watched Alberto flat back someone. So that's for something that he hadn't been good at, that's another positive.
There you go.
And keep in mind, we still have starters out. Chris Manhertz hasn't played. Mike McGlinchey, 2 guys that are really were specifically here for blocking. Like what Michael Burton has done. Michael Burton has really been great in this run game blocking. So, you can see, or I can envision, when Peyton starts putting a game plan together, setting up plays, it's really going to be nice.
There you go, buddy.
And Peyton does not let his coaches get away with it either. He yelled advance. Did you see that?
I didn't.
Oh yeah.
He was not happy.
He was not happy with VJ. So
Very good. That's what we needing to see, guys. The accountability doesn't stray away from anybody. That sight line, that beam of light doesn't shine away from anybody on this roster. In the coaching room, in the front office, towards former coaches. It doesn't matter, man. The scrutiny is going to be there, and the expectations that come with it. So it's a good thing. It's one of the reasons I think, and good point to what you said, Jody, to start off. He pulled Russ fairly early after that series. I don't know if I want to put all of it, not that it's going to build up rust, because one thing that Sean Payton said is, hey, we're not done with our off season. We're not done with training camp. We still got 3 more weeks. You guys might be done seeing it, but we still got a lot of work that we're going to be doing behind the scenes here. So, I don't expect a whole lot of. I just don't expect the gas pedal to be let off. I expect maybe some starters. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll find out that pitch count when Peyton comes out there and says, "Look, this is how it is. Look." He loves that look. Look, this is how it is. Guys, we got about 20 minutes in here. Kenny's saying in here, I will guarantee you Broncos fans this. Broncos will be more ready than the Raiders in week 1. I love that, buddy. I love that. But we kind of expect that against a Josh McDaniels run team, maybe. So, hate to say it, but, we live that life, buddy.
I have one thing that I
was going to say we should get the final thoughts out, wrap this up. This is supposed to be just a kind of a quick reaction to preseason game 2, and of course we'll see you on Tuesday as well. Go ahead, buddy.
I have one thing that I kind of, and we can touch more on Tuesday, is I've been hearing a lot of people, if Russ goes back to his old self, get prepared to see Stidham or DiNucci because he's going to get hurt. I don't fall into that notion. For 12 years, for 10 years in Seattle, he played, 9.5 years, he played and never missed a game and had one. Wasn't a running play. It was a fluke injury, throwing the ball, hit his thumb on a helmet. Last year was, I'm going to give last year a pass. He was overweight. You can see it. He knew what the concept. He knew how things were going towards the end, and he went all out when he made that diving play that got the concussion. You could see when he ran that ball, he knew he was going towards the sideline, and that's where he was going. He's going to be smart when he runs, and I'm not worried about that. So I've been hearing it on a few different things, a few different sites. If he runs like he used to,
we'll all be in suspense until Jody tells us
he's going to be smart in how he, if you can get 5 and get out of bounds, getting 6 and getting lit up makes no sense.
Makes perfect sense to me, buddy. Speaking about Russ, I want to make sure that nobody rushes to conclusions here. And jump over to the Rocky Mountain Sports Network. It's RockyMountainSN.com. Our own Albert Knoppers has written his very first article, and it's up there on the website right now. Don't rush to conclusions. Great read, Albert. Really appreciate the article. Loved every minute of it, buddy. I was enthralled, as all of you guys probably should be too. So check out Don't Rush to Conclusions over on Rocky Mountain Sports Network. In fact, I'll do this real quick. Let me see if I can throw this up. I'll even show you exactly how to get there, guys. Just head on over to RockyMountainSN.com. That's www.RockyMountainSN.com. And you can check out Albert's fantastic article that he just put up as well. Goes in depth to exactly, those older years, what we saw last year, and maybe a little bit of what we should expect this year. So great job, Albert. Appreciate it.
Thank you, and also for your help with this. And here's the thing: no matter what Russ is going to do, if he's going to be the MVP of the year, some negative nannies will say still Russ is washed. And what we have seen today, we have seen a Russ that could be the Russ that we saw from the Seahawks again. He, like Jody said, he runs smart and he runs hard. With Stidham and with DiNucci, they could have gotten several first downs, but because they staggered or they slowed down or hesitated, we didn't get it. And Russ did not hesitate. He saw the opening and he went for it. And I think that is the Russ that we always saw it, and every team feared when they were playing the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I think we have him back.
Yeah, I'll just give again a little tip of the hat to the offensive line. Really feel like they kind of cleared the path for Russ to be able to see down the field, get through his checks, and if something wasn't there, you're right, no hesitation. Russ took the ball, tucked it, got the yards he needed, and as Jody said, didn't take those extra hits. He had a good opportunity to get a big run and got out of bounds at the very last moment, just like he should. Didn't take any additional punishment as he went out of bounds at the sidelines.
And talking the Russ run, one play stuck out to me. He kind of rolled to the left, and he almost wanted a 360 out, and you could tell that was coached out of him, and he took off and just ran.
There you
could
go.
tell he almost wanted to three. You know how he always does the three.
That peel back.
He wanted to, and he didn't, and took off and ran.
It's fantastic.
So it's coaching. Something that Pete Carroll, something that Nathaniel Hackett couldn't do, and 3 more weeks. I can't wait for this first game.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be fantastic. Hey, any final thoughts that anybody has? A, if you're in the comments, jump them on out there. B, if you happen to be Albert or Jody, let's throw it out there, and then we're gonna probably jump on out of here, guys. And of course, we'll be back Tuesday. Plan time is usually around 7 o'clock. Every once in a while, we have to flex that to about 7:30. But Tuesday night, Rocky Mountain Sports Network, Denver Bronco Roundup comes every single week to you. So make sure you tune in for that. Any final thoughts, Albert? Any final thoughts, Jody? If not, we're going to jump out of here and let everyone get some sleep and start to enjoy their weekend, or continue to enjoy their weekend, I should say.
Okay, last thoughts. Even although we lost the game, I think we have won, because we saw that what our O-line can do, what our quarterback can do, and what Javonte Williams is doing. I think all in all, we won the game as fans.
I like that, buddy. Jody, any final thoughts? I got one from. Actually, I'll get this one from Kenny. Final thoughts is no Alexander Madison jokes until Tuesday, so I had to get that in there. Really quick, did Mims do anything? You know, Mims had a pretty good showing out there. Yeah, had a catch. Was out there. You know, honestly frustrated that their punter couldn't get him the ball. I think that by the second time he shanked 2 punts in a row, and that second one, I think he was so mad that he didn't have an opportunity. At least, hey, give me the ball, buddy. Put it into play just once. Please.
I think he also had a holding call.
Well, that might be true. I think that was par for the course. But no, Mims is looking good, but he is a rookie that's has a few people in front of him, and well, hopefully we still have Jalen Virgil in front of him as well. We'll wait to see about that. So, and Kenny just saying, great job, appreciate it, Kenny. Kind of like the great job you guys do at the K&K Sports Show every time I catch that too. Sorry, Jody. I was going to give you a final thought, and I ran off on all our comments.
No, it's all good. Just a quick final thought. Don't overreact to stuff. People were quick to throw Brett Maher out of here last week. He looked solid tonight. People were quick to, and I understand it with Bulls, the money part of it, but quick to, we wasted money on Powers. We've wasted money on Bulls. Don't overreact.
And Riley Dixon did very well.
Yes.
Yeah, Riley lit.
A couple times he did outkick his coverage, but something to work on. Don't overreact. It's a process, and come week 1, I expect big things. This team is talented. Well,
everybody, we're going to go back. We're going to probably end up reviewing some tape, getting all this put together, get a better. Again, this is quick reaction. We all just got done watching the game. We'll go ahead. We'll hit the old film tape. We're going to be back at you next Tuesday, or this coming Tuesday. I say next Tuesday like it's a weekly show here, but this Tuesday, 7:30. Just watch for the promo that goes out. Of course, go over to Rocky Mountain Sports Network, Rocky Mountain SN. You can check out Albert's articles. You can check out mine. You can check out Rockies that are going on right now. We got a great Avalanche crew and a Nuggets crew that's coming about for the Rocky Mountain SN. So you check out what's coming out around the corner. And let's have a great weekend, everybody. We'll check you out on Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and get us all queued up to get out of here. Until next time, guys, have a great one. See you soon.